As the year 2024 is gradually coming to an end, a lot of people are getting increasingly concerned as to how to gain financial freedom, even as we enter into a new year. I know this because several people have come to me to ask questions regarding this. There have been so much talk about how to get multiple streams of income lately, but the problem, however, is that while some people do not seem to know how to get the information about this, others who are privy to this information do not know how to go about it. But guess what? I bring you good news, and this is to let you know that the financial freedom which you seek is within reach, is closer to you than you can imagine. I know you must have heard these words, let your money work for you, but the real question is how? Before I answer that, let me ask you this. Do you know that there is something called the power of compounding? Come, let me show you something.
The idea about power of compounding is that when you invest a particular amount of money at a particular period of time, you earn an interest from it. So what you do is to take the interest you earn and add it to the principal. Together, you reinvest that total amount and it earns you another interest, by which you then repeat the same process, and this continues to build up. This is exactly how you build generational wealth. Therefore, in simple terms, the power of compounding is letting your money work for you. For example, let's say in year 1, you invested 10,000 at a rate of 13% per annum. At the end of year 1, the interest you will gain from that investment is 1,300, which then makes your total investment worth to become 11,300. Then in year 2, you decide to take the whole amount of 11,300 and reinvest it again. And this time you get an interest of 1,469. At the end of year 2, your total earnings is now 12,769. Imagine you do this consistently for 5 years. At the end of year 5, you're getting 18,424. Which means that the 10,000 which you started with in year 1 has resulted to 18,000 in the 5th year. Let's now say this increases to 100,000. You can see what the earnings will become at the time you increase what your investment is. Let's now see what it is at the rate of 21%, which is basically what interest rates on investment are today. You can see that your 100,000 at the beginning of year 1 has automatically become 121,000 at the end of the same year. Trust me, with this, you are way better off than somebody else who leaves his idle funds sitting in the bank and generating 1% or at most 2% per annum. As a matter of fact, let us do some comparison here. I'll just copy this and paste it here. Let's say this is somebody who leaves his idle funds sitting in the bank, and this is another person who decides to invest his money. Now the investor gets to earn 21% on his 100k in a particular year, whereas the one who leaves his money in the bank only earns 2%. Let's see what the difference is. For the same amount of money in the same year, the investor is 19,000 richer than the one who does not invest. Then in the 5th year, the investor is 148,000 richer than the one who does not invest. Some people even have as much as 1 million and more idle in the bank. Imagine you take this and put it up for investment. You can see what the results are. Just look at the clear difference between you who is investing your money and the one who is not. Tell me, after seeing this, do you still need a prophet to let you know that it makes more sense when you allow your money work for you?
One thing you should know is that investing is not for the wealthy alone, but for everyone. The power lies in the decision you make with the information that you have. Now to answer the question, how do you make your money work for you? Hello everyone, welcome back again to Excel with Google. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my story on some of the investment choices I made in this year 2024 and the ones I intend to make in the year coming, which is 2025. And in doing so, I'm also going to be exposing some of the secrets rich people do that help them make more money. I'm sure there will be somebody out there who is going to benefit greatly from my own experience. Early this year, I decided to take investment more seriously. Yes, I'm not ignorant about investment at all, but the challenge I used to have is the ability to choose the one that I need to do and the ease of getting it done because I don't like stress at all. Back in the years when I used to work in the bank, one of the major investments I used to do then was Treasury bills. Treasury bills is a short-term debt instrument issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria on behalf of the federal government to enable them finance their own expenditures. What this means in simple terms is that the government comes to us, the investors, to loan money so that they can be able to cater for their expenses. And in return, they give you an interest which is usually paid upfront. Because it is a short-term instrument, it has a maturity period of less than 1 year, which could either be 91 days, 182 days, or 364 days. So you have the opportunity of buying treasury bills for any of those periods. In fact, recently I learned how rich people use these treasury bills to cater for their own expenses free of charge. Come, let me explain better.
Let's say you have 100,000 naira you want to invest for a period of 364 days at a discounted rate of 13% per annum. The interest you will earn from this investment is the 100,000 times the 13%, which is the discounted rate, and this is the amount you get upfront. It then means that the actual amount which would be deducted from your account for the purpose of the investment is the amount which is 100,000 minus the interest which you've earned upfront. And at maturity date, which is at the end of the tenure, what you will be getting back is the 100,000 in full. So this calculation is done based on the assumption that there are no charges involved. But just so you know, withholding tax is usually charged on the interest earned from investments with T-bills. But this was not the case some 5 years ago when I used to invest in T-bills. So with the understanding that interest earned on T-bills is subject to withholding tax, let us just calculate and have an idea of what it is. So the rate is 10%, then the amount charged would now be 10% times the interest earned, which is the 13,000, and that will give us 1,300. So at the end of the day, assuming that withholding tax is the only charge that would apply on the interest, because sometimes the banks also have some other charges like processing fee that may apply, but let us just leave it at withholding tax alone. What you would actually be getting as an interest would be net of all charges. So for this case, let us say the 13,000 minus 13, which is 11,700. Now let's learn how rich people take advantage of these treasury bills to spend free money. Okay, let's say there's a man who wants to buy a car worth 10 million naira. What he does is to walk up to the bank to find out how much he would need to invest in treasury bills that would earn him 10 million naira today. Remember, interest on treasury bills is usually earned upfront. So what the bank does is to walk back, taking consideration of all the necessary charges that would be made before they would derive the actual amount he needs to invest to earn 10 million. If the withholding tax to be charged on interest earned is 10%, so to get the amount before withholding tax is charged will be interest amount divided by 1 minus withholding tax rate. This is done to get the actual interest amount before charging withholding tax. Assuming the treasury bills rate still remains at 13% per annum. Now to get the actual amount to invest for the period of 364 days will now be the amount before withholding tax divided by T-bills rate of 13%. So that gives us 85.4 million. If he has that amount of money as an idle fund, what he would do is to take that amount and invest it. Then he gets his 10 million naira immediately, buys his car, and at the end of the tenure, he gets his full amount back. In other words, he literally did not spend his money to buy that car. That money came free of charge. Let us imagine that a lady needs to buy a bag worth 100,000 today, and she has some idle funds she's willing to invest to give her that earning. If we should use the current discounted rate of 18%, that means what she needs to invest for a period of 364 days is 617,000. Now let's plug the amount here to see if we are correct. So if she should invest 617,000 as advised, you can see that she'll be able to earn the 100,000 immediately. And at the end of the tenure, she gets her full money back.
So where do you buy treasury bills? You can walk into your regular commercial bank and ask your account officer that you want to buy treasury bills. So they will either give you a form to fill
or ask you to write an instruction.
And what they will usually demand for is a minimum of 100,000 naira to enable you subscribe for this investment. But for me, I needed an easier way to go about this without having to go to the bank. You know how tiring these banks can be with their long queues. So in my quest for an easy way of doing this, I came across some fintech platforms that allows you to purchase till bills at the comfort of your home. One of them is called Bamboo, and this is what it looks like. The sweetest part is that on this app, you can buy treasury bills with as low as 10,000 naira. Did I say 10k? 5,000 naira. This is what I meant when I said investment is not for the wealthy alone. So if you want to sign up with the platform, I'll put the link in the description box so that you can click on it, sign up, register, and you too can start your own investment journey. Recently, I even funded my wallet with 10,000 naira so as to enable me buy treasury bills, since I realized that I can do it comfortably in my own bedroom.
Wow!
Hey, hold on. Why don't we do this together?
I'll click on the app to open it, then click on sign in. If you're a new user, you click on sign up to register. Once I put all the required information, then I'll log in to go to my dashboard. So if you look closely, you will see that my total portfolio is $17.46. I have $11 in US stocks, and I have 10,000 naira in my wallet, which is equivalent to $6. So the good thing about this app is that even if you have your money in naira, it will automatically help you convert it to dollars. So with that, you can still invest in dollars without worrying about actually having dollars in your account. Let's move on. We'll come back to talk about stocks later. Because I want to buy treasury bills, I'll click on treasury bills, then click on see available bills. And as you can see for yourself, all the available bills, I'll click on that of 364 days with 18% per annum. Then I will put in the amount that I want to invest in. I'll put the 10,000 naira which I have deposited for this purpose. Then select preview investments, where I get to see all that I need to know. So I can see my interest, which is payable upfront, to be 1,745 naira. The tenure for this investment is 304 days remaining out of the 364 days. The maturity date is 9th October 2025. Here they will take a custody fee of 72 naira, which is about 0.7% of the 10,000 naira invested. But at the end of my tenure, I'll be getting my 10,000 naira back in full after I have received 1,745 as my interest upfront. Wow! Once I'm satisfied with everything I'm seeing, I'll go ahead and click on proceed. Then I'll select payment type, which is the wallet where the money is. Purchase successful. It's as simple as that. And if I go back to my dashboard, you would see that the interest which I was paid upfront has been added to my total portfolio. Now I am $1 richer. I had $17 before I bought the bills. Now I have $18 in my account. Now at the end of the tenure, which is in October, I'll be getting my 10,000 naira back in full. Meanwhile, in the meantime, I have increased my total wallet size to $18. Using our example of the lady we asked to invest 617,000 at a discounted rate of 18% per annum for 364 days to enable her get 100,000 upfront, you can see that with this platform, she's getting 107,000 as her interest upfront, using the same amount and the same rate. As a test, here she's getting a 7,000 above what we calculated when we used the Excel spreadsheet. You can see that with this platform, no withholding tax is charged. Only a custody fee of about 4%. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, you can see that in this app, I also invested in US stocks. US stocks is another investment that I started having interest in this year 2024. With US stocks, you can buy the stocks of some of the US based companies that are doing very well. And with stocks, you can gain two ways, either through dividend or capital appreciation.
Back to my app, let me show you what my stocks look like. These are the two companies that I recently invested in. Stock is a high-risk investment in the sense that when you invest in a company by buying their stocks, it means that you trust that company to do well in the future. But in a situation where the company does not do well as speculated, then you tend to lose money. And as such, before you invest in any company by buying their stocks, you then have to do a proper research and analysis about that company so that you don't put your money in the wrong place. The good thing about this app is that with as little as $1, you can buy a fraction of the shares of any US company of your choice. The maximum amount I use to buy the stock of these companies is 10,000 naira, which is equivalent to $6. And with that, I was able to get a fraction of the shares of this company. What I'm trying to say is that with as little as 10,000 naira, you too can be a shareholder of one of the topmost US-based companies from the comfort of your home, and you can also start earning dividend from them. Although not all companies pay dividend, but majority do. These two companies I invested in pay dividend quarterly. As a matter of fact, I have already received dividend from one of these companies that paid early this month in December and waiting to receive from the other one later on. As you can see, with my 10,000 naira, I was able to buy 0.35 units of the shares of this company, and their dividend payout was 0.3225 per share. If you multiply this amount with the unit of shares I got, you would see that it will result to $0.11 that I got as my dividend. That means that if I had gotten up to a unit or more, I would have gotten higher returns. Then again, you don't have to wait till you have so much before you start investing. You can start with as little as you have.
So you can get information on how to use these apps and how to explore them and navigate the apps online, and so many other channels putting out resources regarding information like this. But in case you are amongst those people that do not have the time to do the research yourself, because yes, it can be time consuming, and you want me to guide you on how to go about it, send me an email in my email address, which is also in the description box, and I will guide you, hold your hands to show you how to navigate the app. But this will not come free. It's going to be for a very little amount, a token, so that I can assist you in this journey. With this app, you have the access to all of this at your fingertips. So remember when I said in the beginning that financial freedom is within reach and is closer to you than you can imagine. Another investment I did earlier this year is mutual fund. Mutual fund is when investment companies pools funds together from different investors, and they use these funds to purchase variety of securities such as steel bills, government bonds, commercial papers, etc. And in return, they give you an interest. At the time I started earlier this year, around July, August, the interest rate then was about 15% or 13 to 15% thereabout. But currently it is going for 21%. What this goes to say is that this is a very good time for you to start letting your money work for you rather than letting it sit in the bank idle. At the time I did mine, I went through a commercial bank to do the paperwork and invest this money, and over time the interest that I've accrued from this investment, I reinvested them, and it has been good. They pay interest rate quarterly. But then again, I needed something that would save me all the stress, and in my search I found another fintech platform which is called Optimus. This is what it looks like. You can go to my description box and click on the link to register and sign up, just as you would do with the Bamboo app. What I like about this particular app is that it has a lot of other investment opportunities which you can subscribe to. You can also buy your US stocks or your regular Nigerian stocks from it. You can also invest in Treasury bills, you can invest in government bonds, commercial papers. But wait, let it not be as if I'm just talking too much. Let me show you what it looks like.
I'll click on the app to open it, then it takes me to my dashboard. I funded my wallet yesterday with 10,000 naira and today I'm seeing 216 naira extra. With this app, you get a 9% interest per annum by saving your money in their wallet. They have other investment opportunities that gives you different interest rates depending on the structure of the investment. On their Optimus savings, you get a 13% per annum, whilst for that of the dollar, you get up to 4% per annum. And on the Optimus savings, that one allows you to lock your money for a certain period of time. You get a higher interest, which is about 20% per annum. Whilst for the dollar, you get up to 7% per annum. With this app, you can also invest in US stocks as well as the Naira mutual funds, which is the one that is of interest to me right now. You also have the opportunity for the dollar mutual funds. Then explore Naira mutual funds. These are several options available for investment. This particular one, which is the equity fund, is a high-risk investment in the sense that the company invests in securities like stocks, and that is why it has a higher interest rate of 25%. So the higher the risk, the higher the returns. But the one I'll be going with is the Afrinvest Plutus fund, which is the one with a medium and low risk. For that, the company invests in securities like Treasury bills, savings bond, commercial paper. This one gives a return of 21% per annum, and I think that's fair enough. Let us explore other opportunities that we have here. You can also invest in the Nigerian stocks. But for you to successfully do that, you need to go through their Afrinvestor 2.0 app, which is the one managing Optimus as well. Let us also search for stocks of some of the top US companies. Let us search for Apple. A lot of people use iPhone, so therefore Apple is like a household name. You can see that the current stock price of Apple as of today that I made this video, which is the 10th of December 2024, is at $247.02. You can see the Naira equivalent of 411,000 Naira. But when I checked what the price was at 5 years ago, as at the 1st of December 2019, it was at $71.17, which is to tell you that this has grown by 247% for over a period of 5 years. So long as you're investing in the right company, you definitely don't have anything to worry about. Just like the Bamboo app, you can also swap your Naira to dollar with this app. All you need to do is to click on swap, and it will show you the current exchange rate for which you can swap your Naira. And if you're okay with it, you select accept and continue. And if you are okay with the conditions, you put in the amount that you want to swap. For example, if we put 10,000 Naira, it will convert it to $6. And once you have the dollar, you can go ahead and invest in stocks or your dollar mutual fund or other types of dollar investments. So now let's go ahead and invest in Naira mutual funds. Then I'll click on explore. I'll select the Afrinvest Plutus funds. Then click on invest now. I'll put in my amount, 10,000 Naira, which will get me 100 units of these funds. I'll select funding source, and yes, the money is in my wallet. I'll select that. I'll click on preview funds, then see all the details necessary. Here I'm getting 100 units, processing fee 0. I have the opportunity to reinvest my dividends, which I will do. Remember the power of compounding. Then I can select create mutual funds so long as I'm satisfied with all the conditions. Then read the fund terms and conditions, click on got it, and it was successful. So I can view my plan if I want to. My total balance is showing nil for now. I'll click on explore mutual funds, and here it says that it will be available between 24 and 48 hours. That means I'll come back after then to check if the amount is reflecting on my mutual funds balance. Here it also says earnings come per quarter, so in the next quarter I should be expecting to see how much I have earned. Now my portfolio balance is showing 216 Naira after I had deducted the 10,000 Naira for the mutual fund.
But in case you are concerned about the security of this platform, I am too, because hey, I need to be sure that my money is safe wherever it is. So, but I'm a bit more comfortable using these apps because they are licensed by the Security and Exchange Commission, which are regulatory bodies that govern investment companies in Nigeria, as CBN is to your regular commercial banks. That is how SEC is to investment banks. Based on my research, Optimus started around 1995 and they've been around since then. Bamboo also was founded in the year 2019, but then there are other investment bankers that I follow that have recommended these apps, so that makes me a bit more comfortable. But at the end of the day, it depends on the level of risk that you can take. I'm neither an investment advisor nor a financial advisor, neither am I a stockbroker. This video is just for educational purposes and for me to share my experiences on other ways or ways of which I can use to gain passive income. Another investment opportunity I'll be looking forward to do in 2025 is FGN Savings Bond. I've heard so much about the FGN Savings Bond, and just for the purpose of learning, I would like to also subscribe to that because I'm a big fan of learning and earning. Just like the Treasury bills, FGN Savings Bond is also a government security, but with longer tenure of about 2 to 3 years. The interest is usually paid quarterly, and I learned that it can be structured in a way that you can get paid every month.
Wow!
Like I said before, if you need some personalized guidance, you can send me a mail with the email address in the description box stating your request, and just for a talk in a very little amount, I'll be glad to assist. My final word is to repeat what I said in the beginning, that investing is not for the wealthy alone, but for everyone. The power lies in the decision you make with the information that you have. We have come to the end of today's video, and if you have not subscribed yet, kindly do so. Click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I put on videos like this. Make sure you click on the links in the description box to sign up to these apps if you are interested in them. Drop in the comment section if you have any questions and I'll be glad to answer them. Remember, feel free to like and share this video to friends, families, and everyone you feel will benefit from this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in other videos. Bye for now.